In different corners of the planet, there are towns that seem to have defied the very land in order to exist. Places built at extreme heights, on sheer rock walls, or at the edge of deep precipices, where life found a way to take root. This journey takes us to discover 15 real destinations that feel unreal, still inhabited and full of character. As we explore them, tell us which country you're watching from and which of these places you would dare to visit. Because seeing them is impressive, but living them must be unforgettable. Number 15. Manarola, Italy. In the Italian region of Liguria, where the mountains descend decisively toward the sea, lies Manarola, a village that seems to have learned how to grow by following the natural slope of the land. Here, every meter of elevation becomes an opportunity to open up a different view of the Mediterranean. The homes, arranged in levels and painted in soft tones, create a visual composition that changes with the light throughout the day. From any point, the marine horizon accompanies the walk, and the narrow streets invite you to move slowly, observing how the architecture adapts without forcing the environment. This integration extends beyond the town center, connecting with trails that cross terraced vineyards, where agricultural tradition remains part of the landscape. Along the way, the sound of water crashing against the rocks accompanies every step, reinforcing the sense of balance between nature and daily life. As afternoon advances, the light transforms the facades into a warm palette that highlights the cliff's relief, creating an atmosphere that is hard to forget. Manarola stands out not for its size, but for the experience it offers. It is a place that invites unhurried exploration, to stop, to look, and to understand how beauty can emerge when human beings learn to build in dialogue with the land. Number 14. Meteora, Greece. If Manarola seems to challenge logic, Meteora breaks it completely. In central Greece, gigantic stone columns rise toward the sky like natural towers, and on their summits cling monasteries built more than 6 centuries ago by monks seeking to be closer to God and farther from the world. In the past, the only way to reach them was by ropes and baskets pulled up by hand, with the void breathing beneath your feet. Today, there are stairways carved into the rock, but the sensation remains the same. You are ascending to another plane. Fog often wraps around the formations at dawn, making them appear to float above an ocean of clouds. Ancient walls, Byzantine icons, and deep silence create an atmosphere that blends spirituality and vertigo. Meteora is not just a place to see, it is a place to contemplate. A reminder that faith and architecture, when they challenge each other, can create works that brush against the impossible. Number 13. Setenil de las Bodegas, Spain. In the heart of Andalusia lies a town that, instead of being built on a cliff, was built beneath it. Setenil de las Bodegas makes use of massive rocks that cover and embrace the streets, forming a natural roof that seems to fall over the houses. Here, architecture does not compete with the mountain, it merges with it. The white facades hide beneath enormous stone blocks that project outward, as if protecting the town from the intense sun. Streets like Cuevas del Sol or Cuevas de la Sombra showcase this unique relationship between geology and daily life. Bars, shops, and homes literally embedded into the rock, Walking through Setenil means feeling the weight of nature right above you, a cool shade in summer, and a constant reminder that human beings can adapt to the most unexpected places without giving up charm. Number 12. Simena, Turkey. On Turkey's Mediterranean coast lies Simena, a small village where history seems to rest on a cliff washed by turquoise waters. Its ancient ruins coexist with stone houses and quiet boats rocking in crystal-clear waters that allow you to see the seabed as if it were glass. What makes Simena most fascinating lies beneath the waves. A submerged city whose remains spread along the shoreline, visible from small boats that glide through the area. Columns, walls, and staircases that once stood on solid ground are now silent guardians of the sea floor. Above, a medieval castle dominates the landscape, offering a view where the blue of the sea blends with the mountainous coast. Simena is the perfect harmony of archaeological mystery, maritime life, and a beauty that breathes calm. Number 11. Jiufen, Taiwan. In the mountains of northern Taiwan lies Jiufen, a village built in terraces along a slope so steep it seems to hang from the sky. Its narrow alleys turn into endless stairways lined with steaming food stalls, tiny shops, and homes decorated with red lanterns that glow as night falls. From its viewpoints, the Pacific Ocean stretches like an immense blue curtain, while mist descends from the mountains to wrap rooftops and balconies, creating an almost cinematic atmosphere. Its aesthetic inspired fantasy worlds in film and Japanese animation. Jiufen is not a silent village, but one full of life, aromas, and colors that contrast with the void of the cliff beside which it clings. It is a place where tradition blends with legend, and where every step leads to discovering a corner more enchanting than the last. Number 10. Ronda, Spain. Ronda is a city that divides its soul in two. An old historic center and a newer district separated by a vast chasm. Between them, defying all logic, rises the imposing Puente Nuevo. This structure connects both sides of El Tajo de Ronda, a gorge nearly 100 meters deep, where the Guadalquivir River traces a path of shadows and rock. Standing on the bridge means feeling vertigo and the immensity of the Andalusian landscape. Golden fields, mountain ranges closing the horizon, and an old quarter that preserves its Moorish spirit through cobbled streets. At sunset, the white facades glow with warm tones, while the abyss darkens, turning Ronda into a dramatic and poetic postcard. It is a place where every step feels historical, and every gaze ends in the void that made this city a natural fortress impossible to forget. Number 9. Rocamadour, France. High on a cliff overlooking the Qianhu Valley lies Rocamadour, a village that seems suspended in the rock by pure faith. Its houses, temples, and walkways rise vertically, as if trying to touch the sky. From afar, it is hard to believe this place exists, a city carved into the mountain that defies gravity. For centuries, it was one of Europe's great pilgrimage destinations, and walking its stone streets is to feel that history still alive. The sanctuary at the top seems to protect every corner, while views of the deep valley below inspire a profound silence. At sunset, the light turns the stone into old gold, and the entire village takes on an almost mystical aura. Rocamadour is not just a beautiful landscape. It is an experience that blends vertigo, spirituality, and medieval beauty in perfect balance. Number 8. Civita di Bagnoregio, Italy. Civita di Bagnoregio is known as the dying town. But seeing it for the first time, the only thing you feel is life. It rises on a fragile rock outcrop in the Lazio Valley, like a stone island suspended in the air. To reach it, you must cross a long bridge that feels like it leads straight into another era. Its medieval houses, central church, and narrow streets appear unchanged for centuries. But the true protagonist here is geography. Erosion slowly wears away the base of the cliff, and Civita fights every day to continue existing. That fragility makes it even more special. The silence, the wind moving through its walls, and the endless valley views create an atmosphere that moves you deeply. This is not a village to rush through, but one to feel. Civita di Bagnoregio is a relic suspended in time, a reminder of the world's fleeting beauty. Number 7. Albarracín, Spain. High above a deep canyon in Teruel lies Albarracín, a village that seems frozen in the Middle Ages. Its reddish houses cling to the hillside, forming a silhouette that blends into the arid landscape around it. The walls stretch across the mountains like a silent guardian, recalling its defensive past. Its narrow, irregular streets force you to slow down, wooden balconies nearly touching, ancient doors that seem to tell stories, and stairways that reveal new postcards of the village and canyon with every turn. From the viewpoints, Albarracín appears isolated, yet proud, like a refuge that resisted the passage of time. It is not a village of grand monuments, but of atmospheres. Here, beauty is born from silence, from the wind brushing facades, and from the charm of being in a place that has preserved its medieval soul intact. Number 6. Pitigliano, Italy. Pitigliano astonishes at first sight. It is a city that seems to grow directly from the volcanic rock that supports it. It rises like a natural fortress, so seamlessly integrated into the cliff that it is hard to tell where the mountain ends and architecture begins. Its alleyways reveal Tuscan life in its purest form. Irregular facades, hidden courtyards, and passages leading to striking views over the ravine. Within it lies a unique cultural legacy as well. The so-called Little Jerusalem, a Jewish heritage that remains an essential part of its identity. As the sun sets, the walls glow in honey and golden tones, and Pitigliano seems to float above a void of deep shadows. It is a testament to human ingenuity and to beauty born directly from stone. Number 5. Beynac-et-Cazenac, France. Beynac-et-Cazenac rises calmly on a cliff overlooking the Dordogne River, as if the village had found its exact place there. From a distance, its silhouette conveys balance and solidity, a presence that does not seek to dominate the landscape, but to belong to it. At the top, the medieval castle watches over the valley with quiet confidence. It rules not by force, but by history. For generations, it has been the visual anchor that guides the eye and sets the rhythm of the surroundings. At its feet, stone houses descend gently down the slope, with slanted roofs and warm-toned walls that reflect daylight and blend with the earth. Walking its steep streets is a calm, immersive experience. Each step reveals simple details: weathered wooden doors, small, intimate squares, facades designed to withstand time without losing charm. There is no rush. The village invites slow exploration. From viewpoints near the castle, the landscape opens like a moving scene. The river winds through forests and green fields, while other castles appear in the distance, embedded in the terrain. As night falls, lighting highlights the stone, turning the cliff into a golden reflection on the water. Beynac-et-Cazenac is not just seen, it is felt, leaving a serene impression long after departure. Number 4. Bonifacio, France. At the southern tip of the island of Corsica, Bonifacio appears as a city that seems to defy the laws of the landscape. It rises on a pale stone cliff that drops abruptly into the Mediterranean Sea, creating an image that is hard to forget at first glance. Seen from afar, the city appears suspended in the air. Houses line the very edge of the precipice, giving the impression of floating over the void. Yet they have been part of the landscape for centuries, integrated with a naturalness that only becomes clear when explored slowly. Inside the medieval citadel, the atmosphere shifts completely. Narrow streets move unhurriedly between ancient walls, stone churches, and balconies that suddenly open onto an intensely blue sea. Every turn offers a new perspective, and every viewpoint invites you to linger longer than planned. Below, at the foot of the cliffs, the water has patiently sculpted the rock, creating caves and natural arches revealed from small boats along the coast. This constant relationship between land and sea defines the essence of the place. As afternoon arrives and sunlight paints the cliffs in golden hues, Bonifacio takes on a special atmosphere. It is then that the city reveals its full character, a perfect balance of history, landscape, and emotion, suspended before the Mediterranean. Number 3. Castellfollit de la Roca, Spain. In the heart of Catalonia lies a village that, at first sight, feels suspended in an almost impossible balance. Castellfollit de la Roca stands atop a narrow basalt platform of volcanic origin, as if the land itself decided to become its sole support. It does not impose itself on the landscape, but seems to have learned how to live with it from the very beginning. The entire urban center unfolds along this elevated strip, creating an elongated silhouette sharply outlined against the sky. The houses, built very close together, appear to support one another, forming a compact and coherent whole. Walking its narrow streets encourages a slow pace, allowing each turn to reveal new views of the surroundings opening on both sides. The alleyways eventually lead to the church, located at the most exposed point of the settlement. From there, the view expands toward the landscape far below, where the Fluvia and Toronel rivers wind through the terrain, marking the natural boundaries of the land. The presence of water and rock intensifies the sense of depth and scale. In Castellfollit de la Roca, geology does not accompany the village, it defines it. It is a clear example of how people have adapted to the land, accepting its forms and transforming them into a livable place, full of character and identity. Number 2. Xijiang Qianhu Miao, China. In the heart of Guizhou province, among mountains covered in deep green and mist that slowly drifts along the slopes, lies Xijiang Qianhu Miao. It is not just a village, but a vast settlement spreading along the natural contours of the land, considered the largest Miao ethnic community in the world. Wooden houses are arranged in terraces, stacked one above another, adapting precisely to the incline. Seen from a distance, they form a kind of natural amphitheater, quietly overlooking the valley. Each level offers a different perspective, and walking its paths reveals how architecture can grow without disrupting environmental balance. At night, Xijiang transforms completely. Warm lights begin to glow across rooftops, balconies, and pathways, tracing gentle lines along the mountainside. From elevated viewpoints, the illuminated landscape feels serene and almost unreal, as if the village were floating between darkness and clouds. Cultural life is present everywhere. Traditional music accompanies celebrations. Embroidery reflects centuries of identity passed down through generations. And markets gather colors, aromas, and daily encounters. Xijiang was not imposed on the landscape. It grew with it. It stands as a living example of how community, tradition, and environment can coexist in harmony, offering an experience that feels authentic and deeply human. Number 1. Positano, Italy. On the Amalfi Coast, where the land tilts fearlessly toward the Mediterranean, Positano appears as a living postcard built vertically. It does not dominate the landscape, it adapts to it, following the mountain's shape until it meets the endlessly blue sea. The houses, painted in soft, luminous tones, are arranged in terraces that descend gradually along the slope. From afar, the whole looks like a frozen cascade of color. Up close, every corner reveals details that invite you to pause. Balconies covered in bougainvillea, stairways linking unexpected levels, and narrow streets that always lead to a different view. Positano is not a place to rush through. The journey unfolds step by step, climbing and descending stairways that open onto small shops, hidden courtyards, and viewpoints where the sea accompanies every glance. The air smells of lemon, salt, and summer, and that blend becomes part of the experience. When night falls, the village transforms. Lights begin to turn on one by one, outlining the mountain's silhouette and turning Positano into a luminous amphitheater facing the water. It is then that you understand why this place takes the top spot on the journey. It is not just seen, it is felt, and it lingers in memory long after you leave. Closing. And with that, we close our journey through 15 villages that defy cliffs, mountains, and imagination itself. Places that seem designed for epic stories, yet are real, waiting for anyone willing to discover them. If any of these destinations surprised you, or if you dream of visiting them someday, tell me in the comments which country you're watching from and which one you would add to your travel list. I love reading your thoughts and seeing how far these videos travel. Thank you for joining me on another adventure. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to keep exploring incredible corners of the world, because there is still so much to discover. And this journey is just beginning. See you in the next one.